Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
The goal is goodbye, COVID. We're never going to think about it again. It's not realistic.
Yeah, I think what's realistic is that COVID is something that we vaccinate along with all the other childhood diseases, and that's how you convert COVID from this deadly disease into something much more akin to the flu. And at that point in time, we would largely see hospitalizations and deaths among people who are not vaccinated and perhaps some of the elderly, where you have waning immunity over time.
Yeah, I have said it since jump. Let's go over this again, all right? It ain't going anywhere. It ain't going anywhere. 70% vaccinated. At least 70% of U.S. adults have received at least one vaccination dose, according to the U.S. health officials. 60% have been fully vaccinated. The figure translates to about 58% of those who are over 12 receiving both shots, or just under 50% of the total U.S. population. So let's remember this. When we talk about that 70%, how do we get there? Because these numbers are skewed. And let's be real. I'm pissed because I got to wear a mask again. I got to wear a GD mask again. I didn't even want to come in today. I'll be honest with you. I didn't. Didn't want to come in. Kind of over it. I'm like, what am I doing? What are we doing? I'm going to give you the real numbers, right? I'm not here to play games. I'm not here to pussyfoot around, make you guys feel good, not feel good. Quite frankly, I don't give a rat's ass. I don't think you care either. You want the numbers. You're like me. Give me the numbers. I hate people tell long stories about stuff that matters about nothing. Storytelling is an art. Some people are really good at it. 99% of the people aren't. But sometimes you want the numbers. Chances of you dying from this if you've been vaccinated. Let's go over it. CDC reported 6,600 COVID-19 breakthrough cases as of July 26th. Hospitalizations, 62,309, give or take. 1,263 deaths at the time. 163 million people in the United States fully vaccinated. What does that break down to? 0.004% of fully vaccinated people had a breakthrough case that led to hospitalization, and less than 0.01% of fully vaccinated people died. Meaning, chance of you getting this and dying are slim to none if you've been vaccinated. Most breakthrough cases, by the way, 75% of them. Adults, 65 and older. What did we hear the doctor say? That. It's waning over time. Your immunity to stuff, your body breaks down as you get older. Guess what happens? Things don't work the way they used to. Even stuff that was used to protecting you doesn't have the same kind of force and power it did before. For the love of Mama Jamma, what are we doing? Even the White House is going, oh, we're upset with this coverage. Hope you're happy, media. Hope you're happy. Because we're starting to lose it again. Because people are looking at numbers going, oh, my God, it's going to get worse. In some places, it might be. Most of the places that have been vaccinated pretty decently, we're sitting okay. We're not going back in. And the reason's simple. Politically, it's not expedient. We got a midterm coming up. If you're seen to be jacking the pooch on this, you could be in a lot of trouble. And as we all know, what do they like more than anything? Power and jobs.
I really do think that we need to steel ourselves for the idea that we're not post-pandemic. I've heard many people in the media say to me over the course of the summer, oh, COVID's over. Mission accomplished much too soon. This is going to be with us for a long time, for indefinitely, and we have to learn to live with it, and vaccines are how we learn to live with it.
Yeah. Live with it, through it, around it, and above it. But if this is the way people are going to act, if this is the fear factor that we're going to get, then what the hell are we doing getting vaccines? Honestly, tell me what it is. And the CDC, by the way, watching cities and states across the nation kind of go back in, draw in again, talk about restrictions, talk about masking up, talk about all of those things. If this is what we've got, this is not a great seller for your vaccine. This is not a great seller. This is not like, hey, this is a really good thing. Get yourself vaccinated. Because you'll live like everybody else who's not vaccinated. This is insane. It really is. We've been one of the few on this thing Well, we've said, hey, you're going to have to learn to live with this thing, through this thing, and around this thing. That's kind of the reality of what this thing is. It isn't going anywhere. It's endemic, not pandemic. What's that mean to you and me? Means it's stuck here. It ain't going anywhere. So we have to learn to live with it, through it, around it, and above it. Meaning, let's not let it destroy our lives. Eventually, everybody is probably going to get it at least once. And even if you're not vaccinated, the chances of you dying are still very slim. It's an annoyance. But when we start fighting with each other, when we get misinformation and a bunch of crap flying around, it makes everything worse. It ain't helping. It isn't. And I'm frustrated. I think you're frustrated. It's ridiculous. It really is. I was so pissed. I was like, I don't want to wear a mask again. But they protect. No, they don't. Do you want to know the mask I have? So the lady up front, who's very nice, her name's Erin. She ordered me a mask where it looks like my face underneath. So it looks like my face. Do you think this thing is went through some rigorous training to see if it works? You think that it went through? I've never worn it because the day that it arrived, we were told, oh, we don't have to wear masks anymore. So I've never worn it. But do you think that this thing made of some sort of silky-ish material is magically going to stop it? No, it's not doing anything. But it makes people feel good, apparently. Makes businesses feel good. Not happy. Let's go over the numbers again. Less than 0.004% of fully vaccinated had a breakthrough case that led to a hospitalization. Less than 0.001% of fully vaccinated people died from a breakthrough case. 75%, 65 and older. There you go. There you go. This is ridiculous. Fauci.
I don't think we're going to see lockdowns. I think we have enough of the percentage of people in the country, not enough to crush the outbreak, but I believe enough to not allow us to get into the situation we were in last winter.
We're not going to see lockdowns because even if it was that bad, at some point in time, people are pushing back. Hell, the French are pushing back. The French are saying, no more, we cannot do this anymore. Do you know how long it's been since I've had a good bottle of wine?
It's just, for me, it's stopping you from having freedom.
I came here because I'm being forced to get vaccinated to go to work, and I don't want to. It is my choice. And today that choice is being taken away, and I'm against it.
I'm sick of the freedom-killing measures of this government.
Everywhere, it's got a breaking point. It is frustrating. It is ridiculous. We can learn to live with this thing, through this thing, and around this thing, or we can allow it to control us. Some places, some cities are going to overreact. Other cities that overreacted before and had such a pushback. Now, the fear isn't whether or not it's going to spread. It's how can they go about doing certain things without people turning on them. Even if it was for the best. I'm telling you guys, if the Ebola virus was flying around right now with knives, the chances of us going to full-blown lockdown are slim to none because of the overreach before. Get vaccinated, don't get vaccinated. The problem with all of this is the frustration that all of us have, which is we're back in some places en masse. Florida and Texas, they're seeing their numbers rise. And you know what? They're like, we're just going to do this. We're going to do it. And there's people pushing back, saying, Abbott, you're losing your mind. The people pushing back over there, DeSantis, saying this is ridiculous. I can't believe you're doing this. You're allowing all these things to happen. It's going to be ugly for a bit, but it'll be better at some point in time. Because at some point in time, we're going to have to learn to live with this thing, through this thing, and around this thing. And the CDC, you have screwed up royally. You've gone and you've taken the weapon you thought you had in the vaccine, and you have now made it seem like that every case is nothing but a breakthrough case. Well, they can spread it. We're going to talk about that. Again, can they? Yes. Does it happen as much as the media would like you to think? No. But it doesn't matter. Remember, if it bleeds, it leads. Trump's gone. January 6th committee didn't really do anything. The media is looking around going, man, we've had our ass handed to us. People are switching off, going to other things. What are we going to do? The coronavirus looks like it's going away. Hope there's a chance it's on life support. We could bring it back. Quick. Call the advertisers. Tell them we've got something new to fear factor the people back. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Thanks so much. Appreciate everybody paying attention to our little dog and pony show. Thanks, Craig. Filling in for me. Always nice to have Craig doing that. Let's talk about Raycon. Best earbuds around. Got my new ones in this week. Had to order new Raycons. I have a son named Jack. And, stole my Raycons at one point. So I got new ones. Then he took the other ones. Then the other day, he says to me, Dad, I can't find one of your earbuds. Luckily, we had new ones I had ordered. Raycons are amazing. Best earbuds you're ever going to find. So incredible. At a price that's amazing. It truly is. So I get my new ones, go right to the gel tip I like, perfectly in my ear, and away I go. 4, count them, 4 charges with your charging case. You get the case, you put them in there, it charges it up. You don't need to be connected to a wall or anything like that. The best sound quality around and a price point that is amazing. If you want the best sound, if you want the noise isolating fit that separates it from nothing, if you want hours of talk time and easily charged because the case gives you 4 full charges, you want Raycon. Start well under $100. In fact, to start under $70. Buy Raycon.com/Chad. BuyRaycon.com/Chad saves you an extra 15%. No stems, no wires, 45-day happiness guarantee. Get yours now. BuyRaycon.com/Chad. Chad Benson Show.
Helen Keller is a Nazi terrorist that is a male. Is that what you're telling me right now?
Yeah.
Are you thinking of Hitler?
Who's Hitler?
Vaccines work, but only the Chad Benson Show is 100% effective against stupidity.
Do you know what D-Day is? D-Day.
A person? A rapper?
God, Karen, you are so stupid.
Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and wherever you find your favorite woke-free podcasts. This is the Chad Benson Show.
We're like 5 days away from putting the misery that is the Olympics out of its misery. I watched the golf because I thought it was cool. I watched Xander Schauffele win the gold medal. I thought that was awesome. For those of you guys who don't know, he is one of the best golfers in the world. But his father had a shot to go to the Olympics, was a decathlete, and got into a car wreck and could never go. And he won the gold medal over the weekend. It was awesome to watch. Watched a little bit of that. But we had our Olympian superstar who decided not to compete, Simone Biles, and she had a case of the twisties and all kinds of issues that were going on with her, but she did compete in one thing, the balance beam.
It was Biles' first event since last week and her last chance to medal. The superstar Olympian pulling out of all other event finals after getting what gymnasts call the twisties, losing spatial awareness while spinning in midair. After falling short on the vault last week, the 24-year-old's returning to form, placing third behind 2 Chinese gymnasts.
Yeah, no. We're just talking, like, would that be, like, is that better? Is that not good? Would you rather do that? Would you not rather do that? It's kind of a hard, I don't know. I mean, it's a weird thing, right? Like, would you have just rather said, screw it, I'm done? She's 24. She got 3 years. Is she going to come back again, or is this it? Has she packed it up? Is that how you want to be remembered? I'm not trying to be mean. Just asking serious questions. I am. Serious questions. I'm a serious cat. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Love hearing from all of you. So, this is funny. It's like another one of these things. Vaccinated people, they could spread this variant. Right? According to the CDC, vaccinated people may spread the virus, though rarely. This was just a few days ago. So we're back to where we were. We're back to a situation where many of us are starting to wear masks again. Many of us are being told, all right, you got to wear masks to go in the store. But it's kind of funny the way that things are being done now, if you watch. Because the people that are doing stuff, who are going, all right, fine, I'll wear a mask. And by wear a mask, I mean, I'll put it under my chin, right? I'll wrap it around my ears. But no, I'm not doing it like it was. This is where we are. This is the battle that we have to face. Misinformation, disinformation, and right now, frustration. World Health Organization and the CDC have been awful. The CDC in particular has been a jumbled mess of just a rat's nest and snake's nest of stupidity and buffoonery. I don't blame them for everything. I don't blame them for the actions of the people because we have taken it upon ourselves to fight over everything. What I do blame them for, though, is the way that they don't have a singular message. They don't have a message. New Gallup poll, the mood is plummeted. Yeah, the mood's plummeted. We went from being optimistic, 40% down from 89%. Who used to say the situation was getting better. Now they expect this disruption of life to continue on. 20% are practicing strict social distancing compared to 18% in June. And it is crashed. It is crashed. What was once seeming to be a situation where we all had a little skip in our step, like, hey, we're getting back to normal. I think a lot of people expected this thing to disappear. I'll say it again. It's not going anywhere. But it doesn't need to be any kind of focus of your life outside the fact that you may have to get a shot once a year. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show, your Twitter. Tweet, text, Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
What is new in your understanding about the Delta variant this week?
Individuals who get breakthrough infections, namely people who are vaccinated, almost invariably they get either minimal symptoms or no symptoms at all. But since no vaccine is 100% effective, you're going to see breakthrough infections. But we know now that vaccinated people who get breakthrough infections can spread the virus to other people.
I'm reading something from the CDC. It's on this thing called the New York Times. It's the headline. Vaccinated people may spread the virus, though rarely. You see the frustration? Do you see it? The frustration in people? It's tremendous. More transmittable than Ebola or smallpox. That's meant to scare you. People who've worked with Ebola will tell you this. It's hard to transmit. It's fluids. It's not easy. People will live in the same house with several people that are infected, and it doesn't transmit very easily. Smallpox? Chickenpox. Contagious. Remember when you were a kid? They would send you down. You go have the chickenpox. Yeah, kids down the street. Everybody's going to have it together. Let's just get it over with. It happens once. I'm hearing more and more of that. Let's just get it over with. I was talking to producer Anthony, one of his friends. He is older, but not old. Anthony says he's got some issues, some comorbidities, but he's at the point now. He's like, I just want to get it over. I just want to catch it and move on with my life. He's at risk. I think some people just feel like, you know what, I'd rather get it over with and move on with my life. I want to feel like I'm there. I think most people are ready to move on their life and take chances. There's always going to be those few, those outliers, who are going to be like, nope, I got to live in this fear perpetually all the time. All the time. Got to live in perpetual fear all the time. The fear. And that's not going to change. And they probably lived that way before this. And since this, it has made it worse. But how frustrated is everybody as we're looking at this damn thing again? You can blame the unvaccinated. It is what it is. It's nature. We have a saying on the show, nature will mess you up. Nature does what nature does to survive. That's what nature does. It survives. It thrives. It'll figure a way out. This thing doesn't want to kill its host. It wants to live in its host so it can jump to somebody else. Killing its host does it no good. It's not an alien, right? Like the movie Aliens. It's not that. Frustration. We should all be frustrated at this moment in time. Frustrated for the way that things have gone, the way that our governments locally and nationally have handled things. And now it's time to figure out how we move forward and learn to live above this thing without letting it control our lives. And they keep asking the question, what's going on? Where's the guidelines? What are you going to tell people to do?
On Friday, the president was asked whether Americans should expect more guidelines coming out because of COVID, because of the Delta variant, and he said, in all probability.
Should Americans expect more guidelines coming out, more restrictions because of COVID?
In all probability.
So what's on the table?
We've been clear we're not going back to the shutdowns of March of 2020. We are not going back to the economy shutting down. We've made too much progress. Too many people are vaccinated. There's been too much progress on the economic front. But again, he has said from the beginning that we are going to be guided by the science, guided by our public health experts, and we're not going to take options off the table of what they may recommend.
Yeah, we're not going back there because we can't afford it. Can't afford it. Politicians cannot afford to go back there. And they realize that. And they also realize, okay, we overreached before. If we do this now, we're going to be screwed. They're going to vote our asses out of here. We can't have that. But it's spreading. Yeah, but who's it spreading to? Let's look at the science. Who's it spreading to? Well, mostly people in their 20s and 30s. They're okay. Well, the hospitalizations are up. Yeah, what are the deaths like? We have a lot of people dying? No, not really. Okay, then. Should we be freaking out about this? Oh, by the way, it's still older people, too. Oh, yeah. There's not a lot we can do about that. No, not a lot, because most of them are vaccinated. Well, the vaccines don't work? No, they do work. They're as much a therapeutic as they are something that, in theory, tries to stop this thing from doing its thing. But nature will always be nature, and we cannot discount that. And every time you try to, just remember, nature will mess you up. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Love hearing from all of you. If you've thought about flying, it's a hot mess.
Busy summer travel, pockets of bad weather, mechanical issues, and crew shortages. Any one of those things can be trouble for an airline. And for the past few days, discount carrier Spirit has dealt with all of them. Monday, it was forced to cancel about a third of its flights, causing long lines at ticket counters and short tempers.
I will never, ever book with this airline again. Ever.
Leaving travelers like that woman in Philadelphia in the lurch.
American Airlines also canceling flights Monday, 420 of them.
Yeah. This is ugly. It is hot and ugly. I was supposed to be out. I was supposed to be out in Burbank today doing some stuff. I was going to fly out originally. Then it was couldn't get a flight. Then there was a flight. Then there wasn't a flight. And they weren't quite sure. And I'm just I'm going to have to drive myself out there because I had to go do some voiceover stuff. And I'm just this is what it's going to be like for a while. Not enough crew is one of the big issues. You've got several issues that are taking place, but this is the time of the year when people are, hey, man, we're doing this, right? We're doing this. Now you've got the situation where you got to wear a mask even more so. and you've got people fighting on airplanes, and people are frustrated.
Spirit Airlines, we just went inside the terminal, and it is a mess again this morning. Hundreds of people waiting in line, many of them spending the night here, sleeping with their families on the ground. Even more flights being canceled this morning. Many tell me they simply don't know when they'll be able to return home.
I can't even check my bags. I can't go back to a hotel. I can't do nothing. And I'm just stuck here.
Staffing shortages, IT issues, and crews maxing out hours they're allowed to fly. This traveler at the San Juan airport, watch her bang on the customer service door.
By the way, that's not helping. It isn't. You know it. I know it. But you hear frustration. You hear people scared, right? Some people they're flying there. They're going to visit their family. They've come for an emergency. They got no money. They're not there. They can sleep in a hotel? No. They've run out of places and options. And the crews are beat. They're tired. They're trying to do everything else they can do to try to appease everybody and to deal with the mask thing, which is a nightmare.
There is not an eye roll that you can give me that I haven't seen 750,000 times in the last year. I know you don't like them. I don't like them either. We have to wear them. It's a rule. It's not a political statement. It's not me taking your rights away. It's not me exerting my will on you, etc., etc. All the rhetoric that I hear, I don't want to hear it anymore. I get it. It's just a rule, and if we don't have rules, we have anarchy. So let's just go with the 1 hour and 43 minutes of masks.
That's so funny. That's a pilot. Look, steal it. You think I like it? This ain't something I'm into. I'm pissed. I'm frustrated like you. It's what we got to do. Right? It's what we got to do.
You can't eat. You can take your mask down and eat, but you have to put it back up. Smart, you would have went to Costco and bought the 7-pound bag of potato chips that would have lasted you 1 hour and 43 minutes. But you didn't do that. You went to Hudson News and bought the Cheetos, and that's going to last you 2, and most of you already know. So anyway, I think you understand where I'm trying to get. Let's get there as quickly and safely as possible, and let's go to Chicago.
Yeah. Let's go to Chicago. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. People are frustrated. Flying is travel's already, right? Like travel's like, going somewhere with the family. Even if you're going somewhere, it's for the weekend. It's like, oh God, right? You got to pack this and you got to pack that. And there's 12 bags. There's this and you got to take this thing. And then all of a sudden the family and the kids need this and your kids come and they're like, okay, what'd you bring? And you get somewhere and you're like, you pack 2 rocks, a G.I. Joe and 1 shoe. I mean, it's already, but I get it.
When you're up and about, when you're not supposed to be, you are a danger to my crew, and I love them more than you. I spend more time with them before saying happy wife, happy life. That's exactly how I roll. When you listen to what I have to say, I look really cool in front of them. After all, look at me. I'm a man in polyester pants and a short sleeve dress shirt. Cool is not exactly my middle name right now.
Frustration. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You're frustrated. I'm frustrated. Government doesn't know what to do, which they shouldn't. Government should get us the information and allow people to take that information, but they should give us the real information. The problem is, even if they give it to us, how it's framed via the media is how it's going to be passed out. Large corporations are going to do their things. Large companies are going to do their things. Middle-sized companies, smaller companies are all going to do their things and what's best for them. And you got to make that choice what's best for you. Some places, they're telling you got to be vaccinated or else. Right now is the perfect time for you to be in that or else situation because there's opportunities out there. Other places are giving you the option with a little bit of, you know what, you can work here and you don't have to be vaccinated, but you got to wear your mask all the time and this kind of things. And other places are just like, come and go as you please. And let me tell you about how crazy some of this stuff is. I did a voiceover the other day for a corporation. They asked me to do a voiceover, so I did this voiceover. And the voiceover talked about things like set a reminder to go wash your hands and to clean your area. Doesn't work that way. This thing is airborne. It's not anywhere, right? You could lick the knob. You're not getting this thing. But that's the kind of stuff that they're still perpetuating out there. I was like, well, I'm happy to take your money, but I don't, because people don't know what to do. They're confused. And that confusion leads to frustration, which leads to hot messes, whether you're traveling or going back to work or just getting back to work to be told stay at home. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. My Pillow, right now, 6-piece towel set, regularly $109.99, only $40. Let me tell you what you get with your 6-piece towel set. 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and a washcloth 2-pack. Right? Not 2-pack shaker. No, just a 2-pack. Made from proprietary technology, highly absorbent, soft to touch, no lotiony feel. Made with cotton grown right here in the United States of America. Available in a variety of colors and sizes. Machine washable, 6-day money-back guarantee, 1-year limited warranty. Now's your chance. Go to mypillow.com when you're checking out. Use code Benson to save big, or call 800-983-4975. Get the 6-piece towel set for $40. Save massive there. Take advantage of deep discounts on all the MyPillow products, inclusive the Giza Dream Bed Sheets, the MyPillow Premium Pillows, the incredible mattress topper. MyPillow.com, promo code Benson, or 800-983-4975. 800-983-4975. Use the promo code Benson. Chad Benson Show.
You go, boy.
This isn't about right or left. This is just about right and wrong.
Right you are, Chad. The Chad Benson Show.
Several festivals canceling performances by DaBaby. September's Governor's Ball in New York and Las Vegas's Day in Vegas in November, just the latest after he was dropped last minute by Lollapalooza over the weekend. The Governor's Ball account tweeted, "It does not and will not tolerate hate or discrimination of any kind." DaBaby first made some controversial comments at a festival over a week ago, followed that up with a video saying his gay fans don't have AIDS because they're not nasty or junkies. Many, including Elton John and collaborator Dua Lipa, have condemned DaBaby for his words.
Yeah. I know what you were thinking, dude. Right? So that's what you went after people with AIDS because they're nasty? I mean, like, that's I don't know. And he didn't back down. Of course, now he's starting to apologize, but, as we all know, it's too little. It's too late. It's funny, we enjoy people with controversy. And we court them, right? We want them to be controversial. We hope people speak their mind, but only to a certain extent. And then it's time to get rid of people. And it's who you. So you can go out and say something about just about anybody on the right. You can say anything you want about them. Doesn't matter. And people will cheer you on for it in certain areas. And on the other side, if you dare say something to somebody on the left or in a woke area, you could pay a price for it. This was none of that. This was just a guy being an a-hole. And I think just saying something that, it was ignorant and stupid. And it's cost him. Do I think he should be canceled forever? No, I don't. I never think that. I never, ever think that. And that's the kind of thing, Kathy Griffin, for those you guys don't know, she has got lung cancer. Luckily, it's early from what people are saying, so her prognosis is good. But they debated this, because she was one of the first ones canceled over the holding the head up of Trump that was, essentially looked like it had been chopped off. And there was the big debate about her being canceled. And
the real life effects of this cancel culture that we have on hyperdrive almost. Yes, her career was in a shambles because of her political speech. And that type of speech is usually protected. We want people to be able to speak politically, to discuss how they feel. And she wasn't able to do that. The first person after Colin Kaepernick where we really started seeing this effect. Again, I know that she tweeted out that she was on January 21st. Saying, so am I uncanceled now? And a lot of people said, yes, you are uncanceled.
You shouldn't have been canceled. You shouldn't. It's the beauty of free speech in this country is the opportunity to have a speech like that. You don't have to like it. And in the day and age of wokeness and stuff, and there was even people on the left going, well, that's a little bit too much. And yeah, you know what? Wasn't my cup of tea, but let's not forget who she is. Right? She made her living on destroying other people, coming after other people. Her comedy was based on those kind of things. And at some point in time, you think you might pay the price.
What shocked me more than the image Griffin showed, which was inappropriate, was the hysterical response to the image. As Sonny referred to the hyperdrive of cancel or consequence culture, I distinguish the consequences when the punishment doesn't fit the crime. To me, this was a full cancellation when there's no end to the trolling and the dragging. And to be clear, I didn't approve of the image, but what showed me more of humanity was the response to it by the people that took on this, self-deputized role of coming after her family, throwing things at her on stage, literally just dragging her, harassing her.
Yeah. Welcome to the world that everybody else has to deal with. Ladies, Meghan McCain.
I think in regards to why she was canceled, I remember at the moment, it wasn't just a picture. She held up a severed bloody head of President Trump. It's so graphic that we can't actually show it on the show. I don't know if you saw it's pixelated. And I just wonder if this show would have the same reaction if a conservative host or a conservative comedian had held up a severed bloody head of Vice President Harris, President Obama, President Biden. I think probably I could speculate there would be a lot less reticent to have forgiveness.
And there's the battle right there. Plus, they've got something personal, so they don't like each other. But still, again, cancel culture, all this stuff, it's what we've said for years. It's not about that. It's about punishment.
There's a thing that leads people to want to be completely uncompassionate and attack people relentlessly and try to get them fired. Most of those people have experienced deep pain in their life. It's that old expression, hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
And it's also people that they don't have a lot of love in their life. If they do have love, it's like precarious.
Yeah.
It's like, obviously I'm making mass generalizations of huge swaths of people, but it's a personality trait. Thing that leads people to want to be completely uncompassionate and attack people relentlessly and try to get them fired.
Chad Benson Show.
This is the Chad Benson Show. Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
But things are going to get worse. If you look at the acceleration of the number of cases, the 7-day average has gone up substantially. We have 100 million people in this country who are eligible to be vaccinated, who are not getting vaccinated. We are seeing an outbreak of the unvaccinated who have a much, much, much greater chance of getting infected in the first place are the ones that are vulnerable to getting severe illness that might lead to hospitalization and death.
Oh, yeah, that's real. That's real. So now what? Get vaccinated? Why should anybody trust the vaccine? I mean, I trust the vaccine. That I don't think it's going to turn me into a lizard or something. Not that I would matter. As you guys all know, I love my lizards. But I'm not worried about that. What I don't trust is the information and how it's dispersed from the CDC and the powers that be, and then it reaches us. Even the White House is like, all right, we've had enough. White House reportedly frustrated with hyperbolic media coverage of the Delta variant. Why? Because people are pissed. They're angry. Optimism is crashing. All they hear is, it's back. It's another thing. It's back. It's not going anywhere. How many times do I have to tell you this? Endemic. Pandemic. Right? It's not leaving, right? This isn't an epidemic in one area. This isn't a pandemic anymore. This is endemic. It's not going anywhere. Not anytime soon. Right? It's just going to be here. So we learn to live with it, through it, around it, and above it. It's that simple. But every time something happens, the media runs. It's like, did you hear? There's something crazy happening. We got to report it. And they get out there and tonight on the news, the chances of you catching the Delta variant is very real. And the chances of you dying from it is super double, triple real. Then you look at the numbers. Chad. You ready for this? As we sit down. Fully vaccinated people. Less than 0.004% of fully vaccinated people have a breakthrough case that led to hospitalization. 0.001 of fully vaccinated people died from the breakthrough cases. Is it everybody, Chad? No. 75% occurred among adults 65 and older. What's that mean? Older people, as they get older, all of us, once again, none of us getting out alive, as we get older, as those things start to happen, as our body starts to break down in certain ways, guess what? Our immune system does as well. Even though we might be vaccinated, it doesn't mean that it's going to work the same way it's going to work with a 21-year-old. Just not. Why? Because their body is in much better condition, and so is their immune system for the most part. But masking up again, people telling you, getting the email the other day, we're masking up again. Okay, why? Because it's a chance that you could give it to somebody. If you're masked, no, I could still give it to somebody. It's always a possibility if I had it. But doesn't spread. No, it does. You can. No, I'm not. Yeah, you can. Right? You can. But no, it doesn't spread the way that you think. Even here, I'm going to go to this. This is the New York Times. It's used to be very reputable. I don't know anymore. Vaccinated people may spread the virus, though rarely, the CDC reports. But then you read on. An internal CDC document paints an even more harrowing picture. Ooh, harrowing picture. So, vaccinate, social distance, wear a mask. Wait, hold on. Sounds like I'm doing everything and I got vaccinated. Yeah. Okay. So it's more therapeutic? No, it works. Well, no, you're telling me I got to do everything the same. So obviously you don't think it does work. I just gave you the numbers. Are you going to look at the data or are you going to look at the fear that they're putting out there? And that's a lot of what this is.
This is fear to control. They don't message the idea of the low death rate because the highest risk groups are already largely vaccinated, like the elderly. It's always how many cases 80%. There are, not about the fact that almost everyone that's vaccinated gets either a mild case or no case. That positive messaging might actually get more people to take the vaccine. But it's always, you have misinformation, we have correct information. All it is fear messaging, the politics to control.
Yeah. So much of what it is that fear messaging because it's what sells. It's not going anywhere. Learn to live with this thing, through this thing, and around this thing.
The goal is goodbye, COVID. We're never going to think about it again. It's not realistic.
Yeah, I think what's realistic is that COVID is something that we vaccinate along with all the other childhood diseases, and that's how you convert COVID from this deadly disease into something much more akin to the flu. And at that point in time, we would largely see hospitalizations and deaths among people who are not vaccinated and perhaps some of the elderly, where you have waning immunity over time.
Waning immunity? Who are you, lady? Oh, you're a doctor? Dr. Gunder there. Talking about, waning immunity as you get older. That happens. Waning immunity. It happens. It's a numbers thing. You look at the numbers. Well, the numbers are up. The numbers mean, look, I don't care. Okay, and this is something else when you talk about this. Can you catch this thing easier? Yeah, that's the reality of this thing. So you have this chart about the Delta variant. It is a little bit higher as far as the spread goes. Right? Up there with the chicken pox. Oh, above the seasonal flu, even above the original coronavirus. But as far as the flu from 1918, no. SARS, not even close. Smallpox, Ebola. What matters is the death rate. If we're going to be honest with ourselves, that's what matters. Not how many people catch it. If you've been vaccinated, again, I'll read you the numbers. 0.004% chance of going to the hospital, 0.001% chance of dying if you've been fully vaccinated, and most of those people were 65 plus. And I could probably tell you that a majority of them probably had comorbidities. You won't hear that, though, because it doesn't fit neatly in the box of fear. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. All that going on. What's happening? Well, you've got people who are panicking because many of the rent protections have gone away. People are panicking across the nation. They don't know exactly what to do. You've also have homeowners who've rented out their homes, or they have an apartment building, because I think everybody thinks that everybody who has who's a landlord is just Daddy Warbucks, and that's not true. A lot of them, people had their second home, right? It was too small, they've outgrown it, but they kept it. And for other people out there, it's I got a friend who owns a place out in L.A. and he lives off the, not that money, but as far as he works and does other things, but part of it pays for the building. He has like 5 apartments and then it's like 6 total. And that covers it. Plus he's got a lot of overhead and things that go out. And people have been protected. Well, now we're starting to head back in, and all of a sudden, here comes the ending of stuff.
The money is there to prevent evictions in the COVID relief bill, but many states are not delivering it to renters, and many renters don't know how to get it.
The application was overly complicated to get funds.
Susan Eiffel is part of NeighborWorks.org, a group helping renters find help when the eviction notice comes. The White House asking states to delay evictions on their own and use federal money for tenants and landlords until Congress makes a permanent fix.
Yeah, good luck with that. And you'd be surprised how many landlords I talk to are like, man, I don't have, I didn't get the money. These people still owe me money. And now with homes where there are, a lot of people are taking this opportunity to try to get the hell out of Dodge while the getting is good and sell their homes and just get out of being a landlord. Totally understandable. Totally understandable. But people out there who are living in the rent world are struggling.
I feel helpless. I feel like I can't do anything. Even though I work and I got a full-time job, I can't. It doesn't help. It ain't helping me right now. And nobody seems to want to help.
It's a person who knows they're going to get evicted. You got a full-time job. Have you caught up? That's the other thing. News for you. That rent, it didn't go anywhere. You still owe it if you haven't paid it.
I was in the hospital for a while. And also I got backed up during the wintertime because of the pandemic and the coronavirus, and I ended up being backed up on my rent, and my landlord doesn't want to hear it, so he got me evicted.
What do you expect? I mean, it's frustrating. It is. And that's why lockdowns, the way that we saw them, are probably not going to happen. Even if this thing got 10 times worse, probably isn't going to happen. They can't afford it. But it doesn't mean cities at the local level won't do something. Businesses won't do something. And if you're looking at the Gallup polls, what's it telling you? People's optimism has fallen tremendously. And confidence is part of what keeps us rolling forward. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. roughgreens.com/Chad, ruffgreens.com/Chad. Go there, get a free bag of Rough Greens, K9 VitaSmart, vitamins, minerals, vegetables, all these amazing things sent directly to you. All you do is cover the shipping. They're going to charge you nothing. You cover the shipping, they get you a bag for free. Put them to the test. I did it with my dog Doodle. He's happier and healthier than ever before. Even Jack, my son, has mentioned the fact that when we first started coming out here and I had Doodle, he's like, man, Dad, that dog's gone a long way. I said, I know. It's crazy how bouncy and happy he is. That can work for your pet as well. If you love your dogs like I love my dogs, give them this. Sprinkle it on top of your dog's food. It's not food, it's a supplement. It brings your dog's food to life with the vitamins, vegetable minerals, all the things your dog's food's missing. You'd be surprised. Healthier joints, better digestive system, and quite frankly, his fur is so much better. Try it now. ruffgreens.com/Chad or call 833-MyDog77, 833-MyDog77. Rough Greens makes any pet food better. Chad Benson Show.
Welcome to Chad. No, not the country. The institution. The Chad Benson Show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
Now it's time to find out what's trending. What's trending? Yeah, what does that mean? I mean something, right? Like it's trending on the old internet. What's trending? Let us take thine peek. Trending upon thine internet, shall we? Yes, of course. Let's first and foremost start in Twitter, where everybody hates each other. Shannon Miller is trending. Simone Biles earned her 7th Olympic medal, tied with Shannon Miller for the most by an American gymnast by drilling a slightly watered-down version of the usual balance beam routine in front of a crowd that included IOC President Thomas Bach. Grocery store staff across the nation are being assaulted physically and verbally by people because the reinstatement of the mask policies many places. Gene Hackman turns 91. That is trending big time. In Florida and Texas, 70% of COVID vaccine milestone for adults is great, but Florida and Texas seem to be where basically it was like a third, fourth, fifth, most of it. Just look to Florida and Texas for most of the stuff that's happening. It's not very nice, Chad. Yeah, well, that's where it's at. Head on over to Google, where everybody looks at Google and says, what's trending on the Google? What's going on then to Google? What's trending there, Chad? Usual stuff. Simone Biles. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but she won again. Or did you not? I don't know if it's winning, right? Is that winning? Because you got 3rd place. So you didn't win the gold. I guess you finished 3rd is the best way to describe it. You finished 3rd. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. NBA free agency, trending a lot. United States women's national team also trending after their loss to Canada. Which, by the way that some of them reacted wasn't great. But, you know, yay, team. Lindsey Graham, the first vaccinated senator to test positive for COVID-19. Says he's thankful that he got it, but I was just reading something where you have somebody who is a strategist for the Democratic Party who has come out and apologized because, he wished Lindsey Graham's death. Kate Cohen-McCoy, top progressive strategist of Rhode Island Democratic Party, apologized Tuesday morning after she posted the message on social media wishing Lindsey Graham dies from COVID. It's wrong to hope he dies from COVID, right? Asking for a friend, thinking it was funny. She said, I made a mistake. I used poor judgment, which obviously I regret. It's so... Oh, God. You just sit there and you're like, this is I can't stand it. I'm so over the disdain for each other. It's like we can't get along for anything. We fight. Doesn't matter what it is. Right? Like right now, out here, the audit's going on. Wendy Rogers, who's uber right, super Trump, up Trump's butt, essentially said to a reporter here that you would have supported Nazi Germany, not realizing not only is he Jewish, I believe his grandparents were killed in the Holocaust. One of his grandparents, one said. Because that's how angry we are over everything. Because I don't believe the way that you want me to believe. So in doing something different than you, I'm going to vilify you, talk about how horrible you are for the country, for humanity, wish you the ultimate cancellation of death. And then when somebody says, oh, you shouldn't have done that, you're like, well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. That's how you feel. Let it be that way. Frustrating as hell. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. It's Chad Benson Show.
Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
What is new in your understanding about the Delta variant this week?
Individuals who get breakthrough infections, namely people who are vaccinated, almost invariably they get either minimal symptoms or no symptoms at all. But since no vaccine is 100% effective, you're going to see breakthrough infections. But we know now that vaccinated people who get breakthrough infections can spread the virus to other people.
Dr. Fauci there talking about the virus spreading to other people. It's possible that this could happen, of course, but it's rare. But it doesn't matter because it makes for good headlines, so let's do that. Will there be lockdowns? That's the big question. Will there be lockdowns?
I don't think we're going to see lockdowns. I think we have enough of the percentage of people in the country, not enough to crush the outbreak, but I believe enough to not allow us to get into the situation we were in last winter.
70% is where we're at right now of eligible people. Oh, eligible, you say? Eligible people, 70%. At least 70% of U.S. adults have received at least one vaccination dose. 60% have been fully vaccinated. 58% of those over 12 receiving both shots. Just under 50 of the total U.S. population. Fully vaccinated, implying the vaccines are more than 99.9% effective against severe illness and death from the coronavirus. And we know now that it's even greater than that. 99.9996 against severe illness. 99.9991 against death. So there's that. Just putting those numbers out there. Does it feel different? It should feel different. Do you feel different? I think it should feel different. How about schools, right? Randy Weingart, American Federation of Teachers president.
But I think the news you showed today, that breakthrough cases are still very rare. And if you get breakthrough cases when you're vaccinated, you're not going to get nearly as sick and you're not going to die. Schools will be open. They need to be open. We need to make sure that they are safe and healthy.
Yeah, of course. Schools are going to be open because we can't afford not to have schools to be open. Schools are going to be open because parents wouldn't allow it. Who do you come to when you need more money? Come to parents. Parents, we need more money. We need more this, we need more that, please. Plus, they recognize that they're out of class and they're frustrated as much as anybody else. Plus, they also recognize what's going on with the kids and their mental well-being. And they also look, the average person with common sense, which, let's be real, isn't as common, should be uncommon sense, understands that for all intents and purposes, the chances of a child getting this and dying are slim to none. And that's before even being vaccinated. Dr. Macri, we had him on last week, right? John Hopkins, smart guy. He's a doctor. He said, the reality is probably one hand is how many kids have died from this who've had no pre-existing conditions. The majority of children that have passed away from this, as awful as that is, were kids who were in really bad situations. And we're not talking about kids who are a little obese or we're talking about kids who are fighting cancer, kids who had gone through multiple operations for organ transplants, things of that. That's the kind of things he was talking about. Then the other side of it, the battle that is going to begin and is beginning with the great masking debate.
Does requiring masks for students make it more likely that schools open and stay open?
I would say this, schools are going to be open. I think last week we got thrown a curveball because of the Delta variant and of the new data that shows that even if you're vaccinated, you can transmit. And I think a lot of people took a deep breath and said, oh my God, what does this mean?
Schools are going to be open. That's not, you can't have it. You won't have it. Remember, all of these things, while at first people were doing this to protect other people, we don't want people who are vulnerable to get sick. Nobody wants that. We knew at the beginning of this thing, it spreads easy. The homes where people who are incapacitated, whether they're older or whether they were there because maybe they were in a car wreck and they have to be taken care of for the rest of their life. Those people were so vulnerable. We need to take care of them. We knew that people who were obese, we're not talking about somebody who's like 30 pounds overweight. We're talking about clinically obese, people who were struggling, like they sweat putting on their shoes. Those people could be in a serious bit of trouble. But by and large, most healthy people are going to get through this thing. It may be uncomfortable at times, may even have to go to the hospital, but the majority of people are going to survive this thing, and they did. But we knew kids really weren't affected, but we shut down schools. Last year, we shut down a lot of stuff. At one point, this time last year, we were pretty much shut down across the board. We were thinking to ourselves, we're going to have any sports, right? Movies ever going to come back? The NFL going to cancel? All of these things happen. We were playing NFL games on a Tuesday afternoon. A Tuesday afternoon, we're playing an NFL game. That's insanity. That's where we were. Now, we can't afford it. We can't. We can't. It'd be tough to afford a bunch of stuff like we did last year and get Americans on board, even if you're worried. People are kind of at the point where it's like, sorry, got to get on with my life. You cannot live in fear. You can't. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show, your Twitter. I mean, take it from this guy. He knows. He gives killer advice.
Being vaccinated is like wearing your seatbelt. It doesn't guarantee you won't get in an accident, but if you do, you have a much better chance of surviving. Hey, get your shots. I don't like wearing masks, and it's you people who aren't getting the shots that has brought this mask thing back. I'm just saying.
That's OJ. You know what I like about OJ? Not a lot, but secondly, he just goes right at it. He didn't care. He didn't care what people think about him. What I always say, go to the replies, see what people say. Here's some. Don't kill your wife. Ron and Nicole already got yours. Still keen on murdering people? Nice one. OJ, being married to you has a higher death percentage than COVID. Is there a vaccine for that? You know who can't get the shot anymore? One guy just wrote, you killed your wife. It's like, oh, my goodness me. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Shows your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. So, the Olympics are going on. And they added surfing this year. And, of course, it's the woke Olympics. And Bill Maher got hammered for it being the woke Olympics, as he called it. But here's some of the stuff going on in the world of the woke Olympics, and he paints a beautiful picture.
Olympic surfing exposes whitewashed native Hawaiian roots. Yeah, the Olympics added surfing this year. Good. Surfers deserve to be recognized as athletes. I'm sorry. What I meant to say is, no, that's cultural appropriation. The AP says that for Hawaiians, probably all two of them, including surfing in the Olympics is an extension of the racial indignity seared into the history of the game and their homeland when white outsiders took over their spiritual art form. Or just people having fun in the ocean.
Yeah. No. Larry Stevenson passed away a few years ago, invented skateboarding as we know it today. Larry was a white guy and kind of thought it would be fun. Makaha. It's a skateboard company, mass-produced his surfboard-shaped skate designs for people. I think we should talk about the fact that there are many other people who are skateboarding and that a white guy invented it. How dare they? But he stole it from surfing. Everything's stolen.
I must say, of all the violations of the woke penal code, cultural appropriation just might be the dumbest of all. First of all, there are 25,000 islands in the Pacific. How do we know a Hawaiian was the first to stand on a board in the water? It seems like something anyone in any ocean would eventually get around to. And if you're a surfer, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, or in between. You all taste the same to sharks.
He's right. This is gross. They don't like you. They don't like you. They take a bite and they're like, that's gross. It's like me biting into a vegetable.
But let's say a Hawaiian did invent surfing. Should he or she have kept it to themselves? Most of human history is a horror story, but the good parts are about different groups coming together and sharing. It's sort of the whole point of the Olympics, which itself comes from Greece. Badminton has roots in India, tennis, France, skiing from Scandinavia, and Taekwondo from Korea. Judo was appropriated from the Far East and skateboarding from the far out. What is this new rule that the first to do something are the only ones who get to have it?
Yeah. Like dreadlocks, right? Dreadlocks always make me laugh because you go back in time and you look and see that Egyptians, Greeks, many people, by the way, I would assume most people, being as they didn't have a lot of shampoo, had some form of dreadlocks at one time or another. Oh yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, it is. You know, the beauty of our country is we're a melting pot. I was telling producer Anthony before the show, the greatness about our country is, you know, we tell everybody, yeah, bring you're tired, you're poor, you're hungry. You guys come over here. And they want to come here. They're willing to risk everything in many cases to come here. They're willing to put themselves in the lottery and wait a decade or two to get here. And they don't want to come here and be something else. So many of them want to come here and take advantage of all that is America. And in many cases, those people, they invite more of what the American spirit is. But now we tell them, no. You come here, you be you, you do you, screw America, you just be yourself, just happen to do it here, which is crap.
This new idea that each culture must remain in its own separate silo is not better. It's not progress. And in fact, it's messing with one of the few ideas that still really does make this melting pot called America great. Not everything is about oppression. Stealing natural resources from indigenous peoples. Yes, of course, that is exploitation. But I swear not one Beach Boys song resulted in any Hawaiian having less waves to surf.
Oh, how dare you. Melting pot's great. It's awesome. It really is. And at times it can be a mess. But the cultural appropriation thing, Bill Maher's right. It is nuts.
And the creative director of the entire shebang of the whole Olympics got canned because he once made a fat joke in a private conversation. This is called a purge. It's a mentality that belongs in Stalin's Russia. How bad does this atmosphere we are living in have to get before the people who say cancel culture is overblown admit that is in fact an insanity that is swallowing up the world?
They'll never do it because we live in a world where the hardest thing to do is say, you know what, I screwed up and I'm sorry. And I'm not talking about people who really genuinely make mistakes. I'm talking about people who want to cancel everybody or do certain things or even make decisions, even in business that has nothing to do with it, where people stand up and go, you know what, nah, I'm a little sorry. Didn't work the way I thought. That wasn't right. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Raycon, best earbuds around. Do not think for a second you're going to find anything better. Sound quality, the best. Noise isolating fit, absolutely why. You get 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 soft gel tips, fit perfectly in your ear. Find the one that works right for you. There's no stems, there's no wires, no hard plastic things. You're going to love these. So many hours of talk time, 6 hours of talk time, and like 30 hours plus of listening. I don't have to worry about that, right? You get the charging case that comes with it. You charge that thing up. That is the case that you charge. You can take it with you. You don't have to be tethered to anything. 45-day happiness guarantee. Get yours now. BuyRaycon.com/Chad. They start under $70. You will not be disappointed. BuyRaycon.com/Chad. BuyRaycon.com/Chad. Chad Benson Show.
Set Chad straight. Text the show, 323-538-2423. That's 323-538-CHAD. Someone has to do it. Might as well be you. The Chad Benson Show.
The Senate report saying many federal agencies did not use even basic cyber protection, including encrypting sensitive information, using two-step logins, and limiting who can see data. Many agencies came in with a grade of C or D. Inspectors General telling the Senate that among the worst agencies for computer security, Departments of State, Education, Transportation, Veterans Affairs, NASA, all earning grades of D.
Oh, my God, that is just awful. But hilarious, but awful. So we didn't even use, like, the McAfee that came with the computers? No. These things are so old. I was talking to a buddy of ours who works with our company, and he's a big cyber nerd, and this is, one of the things he talked about when he was going through school is how much it was all about the protection. And he talked about, he's like, some of these things are so old, how you can hack them is amazing. It's like you're hacking an abacus. It's just, yeah, we are not good at this. I just want to let you guys know that. We are struggling with some of this stuff. I want you guys to understand that. We're not very good at this. We're trying hard, but because you go in now, like even now, some DMVs, right? So your motor vehicle, you go on in there and you look and you're like, that's like an old school computer. You have like a thin monitor. You have a monitor that weighs 80 pounds. That's kind of what some of that stuff's like. It's nuts. It is. Welcome to the craziness of what is, for all intents and purposes, government. Government is slow and back-assward. They are what? Reactionary. They're not forward-thinking. They're not getting you the best. They're getting none of those things. What they're getting for people is the trickle-down of, we'll get to it. We've been assigned $20 million for this project, but it takes forever to get it. And by the time you get it, that stuff's outdated, too, comparatively to what's out there. Because government's reactionary. It's the largest employer. The federal government spends and spends and spends, as we see. But the things that you would think are obvious, especially after the last year plus of hacks, yeah. Like we're not even encrypting like sensitive stuff. Sensitive. Say what you want about Hillary. At least she knew how to get rid of her stuff. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Love hearing from you. Nature, as they would say, will mess you up.
Recently, in the city of Marana near Tucson, Arizona, bees attacked 3 individuals. Authorities were called about the bee swarm midday. NBC News reports the insects were from a 100-pound open hive that was nestled in a nearby tree. And when 3 people entered the hive's vicinity, they were attacked by the bees. Each of the unnamed parties were stung hundreds of times, forcing all 3 to be taken to the hospital. 2 of them survived. One of the victims died from the stings. Around 62 people are killed every year from bee, wasp, and hornet stings.
Uh-oh. Quick. Is there a mask for that? A vaccine for that? No, there's not. Well, we better figure this out. Telling you guys. It's not very nice, Chad. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Love hearing from all of you. The love, the hate. It's all out there. It is. You'd be surprised. All you got to do is just piss somebody off. Say something they don't like, or they thought they heard you say something, and then it's, you're in trouble with me. Chad Benson Show.
This is the Chad Benson Show. Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
We need to be at about 80% of this country fully vaccinated to get close to that herd immunity. We will get some form of immunity from people getting naturally infected, but that's not the way we want to go, especially as we're seeing more people get hospitalized and hospitals getting crowded.
Dr. Patel there. First of all, that's not the way you want it, but could we, in theory, get there? Let's just say we couldn't come up with a vaccine. In theory, could we get there through infection? Well, we could. I mean, that's possible, but it's not the way we want to do it. I understand it's not the way we want to do it. But doesn't that also count? We're at 70% of Americans that are eligible for shots have at least had one. 60% are fully vaccinated. Numbers are pretty good. Remember when we originally was like, we need to get to 60 or 70%. Now it's 80%. It's 80%. Oh my God. What should we do now? Things are crazy. I just walked out. I got to wear a mask again. Not happy about it. Not happy at all about it. Don't really want to be in a situation of doing this again. I've had the damn thing. I've gotten both vaccines that I was supposed to, 2 shots of Moderna. And now I've got to wear this again? Why? Based on what numbers? Well, based on the fact that there's a chance that you could, well, just very, 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 very little. And if your thought is, we really, really need to figure out how we get people vaccinated.
The goal here is to convince everyone that this is the time. If we're going to stop the Delta variant, the time is now. And that means getting vaccinated right now.
Let me tell you something, Mayor de Blasio. Telling people they got to go out and get masked up again after having the damn vaccine isn't going to help them make up their mind to get it. It isn't. It's not. There's breakthrough cases. Very rare.
We saw the headlines about Provincetown, about 350 vaccinated people came down with COVID-19. But remember, there's projections that there were upwards of 50 to 60,000 people in that town. It's a very small number. So get vaccinated and try to live some level of your normal life. You earned it.
You've earned it. Thanks, Doc. Live your life. That's what we should be doing. We should be looking at the powers that be, saying, give us the real information, not the crap the media is feeding us. Give us the real information. Here's some real information. I hate to break it to you guys who love the fear and the being closed down. 6,587 breakthrough cases average of end of July, beginning of August. Right? 1,263 deaths. So all people who've been vaccinated. 163 million people in the United States were fully vaccinated against the COVID-19. So, chances of you going to the hospital, if you're fully vaccinated, 0.004%. Or 99.99.6% chance that you will not see a hospital if you have this. And probably 99% of you won't even know. Chances of you dying. That means you're dying. You're dead. 0.001%. Or, in another way, 99.999% chance of surviving this thing, even with a breakthrough case. Who's struggling with it? 75% of people are over the age of? Anyone? Anyone? 65. Oh. And there's a reason for that.
The goal is goodbye, COVID. We're never going to think about it again. It's not realistic.
Yeah, I think what's realistic is that COVID is something that we vaccinate along with all the other childhood diseases, and that's how you convert COVID from this deadly disease into something much more akin to the flu. And at that point in time, we would largely see hospitalizations and deaths among people who are not vaccinated and perhaps some of the elderly, where you have waning immunity over time.
Waning immunity over time. The elderly, as you get older, stuff breaks down. We all know that. Doesn't work the same way. Sometimes even our immune system has issues. This is it. I've said since the beginning, learn to live with this thing, through this thing, around this thing, above this thing. It's endemic, not pandemic. It is not going anywhere. Over time, through natural contact with it, through vaccinations, it will lessen and lessen and lessen its impact on us to the point where it'll be like,
I really do think that we need to steel ourselves for the idea that we're not post-pandemic. I've heard many people in the media say to me over the course of the summer, oh, COVID's over. Mission accomplished much too soon. This is going to be with us for a long time, for indefinitely, and we have to learn to live with it, and vaccines are how we learn to live with it.
There you go. Vaccines. And yes, again, I will say it. Also, natural immunity. It's nuts, but back in we go. Back in we go to the insanity of wearing masks to what? My mask is totally amazing because I'm pretty sure it is been approved by the CDC, the World Health Organization, the FDA, NASA. My mask is a picture of my face that the lady up front, Erin, our first impressions brand manager, as we like to call her, she's awesome. She thought it would be funny, so she took a picture of me, and she had this made and ordered. The day it arrived, we didn't have to wear a mask anymore. It sat there. I took it out of the plastic today. Do I think this thing will stop anything? No, I do not. But if it makes people feel good, because much like the TSA, that's kind of what this is. It's the make you feel good scenario of the show. No, the feel good point should be very rarely is there a breakthrough case. 99.999% of fully vaccinated Americans have not had a deadly COVID-19 breakthrough case, according to the CDC. And vaccinated people may spread, but it is still very rare. Okay, well, it's time for us to move on with our lives. Can't do it, though. It's time to pause for just a second. Put your mask back on. It's nuts. It really is. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. I love what Bill Maher said.
I missed your partial faces. We've been off for a month. I was hoping that when we came back here, we'd be done talking about the pandemic. But, of course, now the Delta variant has everyone crazy. I am not worried. The CDC put out new mask guidelines now, which is, it's all just so confusing. Indoors, outdoors, vaccinated, masked, not masked. The Walmart shoppers don't know who to punch anymore.
Yeah. They joke, but, yeah, it's ridiculous. It is. It's absolutely stupid that this is where we are again. And we're trying to figure out, and people are, oh, my God, this is like, you got to do this, or you got to do that, or you got to wear this, and you got to go that. And don't you this make you feel good? And who are you trying to protect? Give people the information. Let them make a choice. But if your thought process is, hey, this thing works, you got nothing to worry about. If that's your thought process, and then you tell everybody who's been vaccinated, you better mask up based on the fact that 99.999% of people who have a breakthrough case will never see a hospital or die. That is not a great selling point. That's like selling a car and telling the people you need extra seatbelts. I wouldn't drive too fast, but it's a Ferrari. You should also wear a helmet. And if I were you, I'd take a bus. Not a great selling point. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet as MyPillow has towels, normally $109.99 right now. $39.99. But wait, there's more. That's for you, Ron Popeil. Right now, you get the 6-piece towel set, 2 big towels, 2 hand towels, 2-pack washcloths. Made with proprietary technology, makes them nice, soft, without being lotiony, super absorbent. Cotton grown right here in the United States of America, which is awesome. At a huge discount. Plus, you get a 6-day money-back guarantee. You don't like, you send them back. Tons of colors to choose from. Machine washable. You will love these things. Like I said, super absorbent. Right now, take advantage of this and many other great deep discounts. The Giza Dream Sheets, the My Slippers, the incredible mattress toppers, and everything in between. And MyPillow.com. When you go there, use the promo code Benson. That's MyPillow.com, promo code Benson. MyPillow.com, promo code Benson, Chad Benson Show.
I used to be free. I am not a terrorist. I am not Antifa. I am not a sex slave that wears masks.
Don't be a cutie pie.
Probably sit around and cook some soups and eat bread and desserts and just get all fat and sassy.
You're ruining my life, bud! Yeah, you haven't seen anything yet.
You're listening to The Chad Benson Show.
The Pomp and Circumstance. Those of you who know the Olympics are going on, NBC's advertisers are not thrilled by this, apparently, by all that's going on. And the reason's fairly simple, because the ratings suck. Like, the best thing that I could say is the ratings suck. They're awful. They're horrible. Part of it is COVID's killed everything in a certain sense, including entertainment and sports across the globe. The other part of it is time, right? You know, you're watching something on Sunday morning and you're gonna find out what it is before that. Kids get home, there's the internet, the whole 9 yards. Hey, Mom, did you hear about so-and-so and such and such and what? That doesn't help either. But nobody's really into it. And then, of course, we had Simone Biles, who was supposed to be the big draw in this. And lo and behold, that didn't work out the way they thought, with her stepping away and only performing minimally the team event at the beginning, but not in the finals. And then today,
it was Biles' first event since last week and her last chance to medal. The superstar Olympian pulling out of all other event finals after getting what gymnasts call the twisties, losing spatial awareness while spinning in midair. After falling short on the vault last week, the 24-year-old's returning to form, placing third behind two Chinese gymnasts.
I don't know if that's obviously how she wanted her Olympics to go. I would say absolutely not. And it sucks, right? You know, nobody wants to see that. As an athlete, the struggle, it went, you know, there's many things I think that played into this. I don't think it was one singular thing with her. I think there were several different things that played into this. I think being inside of a hotel room 24/7, if you have anxiety, is not a good place to be. But this doesn't help NBC or anything else. These Olympics have been awful, and there's nothing you can do to save it. There isn't. There is nothing you could do to save it. In saying that, she got a bronze. You didn't win a bronze. You finished third. You win a gold medal. You finish second. You finish third, and so on and whatnot. And that's where she is. And, you know, I wish her all the best. I saw a lot of people that went crazy and nuts, and, you know, she became a right-left thing. It shouldn't have been any of those things. What it was simply this. She struggled. She had some mental issues, the twisties, whatever you want to call it. There was a lot of things that went into this. It was not her quitting on America. It was none of those things. Watching people fight over it's stupid. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show, your Twitter. Tweet at us. So today we have learned that Governor Cuomo is Governor Touchy McFeely.
The independent investigation has concluded that Governor Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women, and in doing so violated federal and state law.
Sexual harassment, panda. Now, will he step down? Will he quit? Will he say, I'm done? Will this make it easier for people who want answers to certain things like, hey, did you stick COVID patients back into elderly homes knowing full well that it was deadly for elderly people and easily transmissible? Did you do that? Did you have your people lie about it? Will that make it easier for that investigation? Remember last year? I mean, this guy was, he was the bee's knees, right? He had his book, right? He was talking about all the stuff, how great he was. I mean, you know, this is the American crisis, leadership lessons during the COVID pandemic outbreak. Should have a new one now. How to sexually harass people for a multitude of years and get away with it almost. It's not very nice, Chad. It's right there. Is he going to quit? I doubt it.
The investigation found that Governor Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed current and former New York State employees by engaging in unwelcome and non-consensual touching and making numerous offensive comments of a suggestive and sexual nature.
So this is interesting because this isn't done. This isn't done. And if we've learned anything about the Cuomos, they're not going anywhere. I don't think for a moment he's going anywhere. I think he's going to say, I'll stand and fight these allegations. I'll stand and fight them. Not going anywhere. More about this, 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Love hearing from every single one of you. So much stuff still to squeeze into our little dog and pony show here. Follow along across all social medias. Text if you want to. Feel free to do so. Yell at me. Tell me I'm a nice person. It's all fine. I'll try to answer back to everybody because that's what I do. Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
The independent investigation has concluded that Governor Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women and in doing so violated federal and state law.
Yeah. Governor Cuomo. That's the Attorney General, Letitia James. Governor Cuomo. Let's listen to this again. Remember this. This is the guy that's got us to the... This was... People were like, man, this guy should be president. Look, based on his attitude and the way that he handled stuff, yeah, absolutely. He was way better. Remember, everybody's looking around going, man, this Biden guy, he can't do anything. Look at him. He didn't even know where he's at. They're scrambling because they'd kind of gone through everybody. Thought maybe Bloomberg would throw his hat in the ring and do something. Nope, didn't happen. All of a sudden, they're like, well, maybe Cuomo, right? Like last minute. Because he was out there. He was informing people, which I always appreciate. Put yourself in the firing line, going out there. But then things started to happen. Whispers became chatter. Chatter became noise. Noise became a roar, and lo and behold, he's got issues. Wasn't just one, it was multiple.
The investigation found that Governor Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed current and former New York State employees by engaging in unwelcome and non-consensual touching and making numerous offensive comments of a suggestive and sexual nature.
Yeah. Think he'll resign? I don't know. Was it Judge Napolitano over the weekend or somebody? Didn't he touch somebody's arm on a elevator? And they're like, you got to go out there in Fox. I got news for you. I have a feeling that there's a lot more to those things. But let's be 100% honest here. This is a governor of arguably, between California and New York, everybody else is running a close 3rd and 4 and 5. But to those two, this is it. I mean, this is of governor places to be. There's like 5 of them. There's California, New York. It's pretty big. Chicago, if you want to go to jail. See, Blagojevich is like, hey, I want to be governor again, right? Florida and Texas. Those are the biggies. Them's is the biggies. He is in serious trouble. Do you think he will go down without a fight? Hell no.
They reviewed more than 74,000 pieces of evidence, including documents, emails, texts, audio files, and pictures.
Oh, that's a lot. 74,000 is a lot. What did he do?
The Independence investigation found that Governor Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women, many of whom were young women, by engaging in unwanted groping, kisses, hugging, and by making inappropriate comments.
Yeah. And being the Cuomos, as the Cuomos tend to do, I've always said, these are two guys who wanted to be mobsters but didn't have the balls to be mobsters.
The governor and his senior team took actions to retaliate against at least one former employee for coming forward with her story.
What comes out of this? I don't know. Again, will this open the door for the other side of things when it comes to knowingly doing what supposedly he did, allegedly, according to several people who worked for him, when it comes to cooking the books, when it comes to COVID and nursing homes? He could face some serious time. Now, do I think he'll do any time? No. But do I think he's going to sit here and fight this? I think he will. I mean, listen, look, this is what happens, right? This is welcome to the world of big politics and some people. Trump did this, right? If he learned anything from Trump, it was simply this. Wasn't me. Deny. People get bored and they'll move on. With Trump, it wasn't me. People got bored with that story because you knew he wasn't going anywhere, and then he did something else, and they're focused on that. But Cuomo, his brother's the same. They fight with anything.
You really don't want people to not get vaccinated so they can come to your restaurant?
That's a good question. You're a smart guy. It's an IQ test. And like I say to people when they ask me, if they're so blinded with their rage and their hate, I tell them, you know what, if you still don't understand it, maybe we should put up a sign up that says you're too stupid to come into the restaurant. I mean, it's very simple. Just like you said, I think you figured it out. Am I right?
I don't even know what you're saying right now. Tell me, so what's the deal?
Point.
Yeah, this is Cuomo talking to Tony Roman, owns a restaurant in Huntington Beach, talking about the fact that unvaccinated people come to his restaurant. Not vaccinated people.
What you're not getting, you're failing the IQ test. What you're not getting is that this is not an anti-vaccine stand. It's a pro-freedom stand. That's what you're not getting.
Yeah, pro-freedom. Man, I'm about pro-freedom. Right now, we got the masking up. We got all this wackiness going on. We got all this craziness going on. People are freaking out, and it's back indoors again. Quick, but not really, but kind of. Social distance, wear a mask, do. Let's not look at the numbers, but only when it's convenient. That's where we are. It's frustrating as hell. And then you got these two battling it out over here, Tony Roman, and I give some of what he said. Look, I'm not anti-vax. I'm pro making a choice that's right for you and your family. Do I think the vaccines work? I don't know. I mean, I think they do. If the job is to keep you alive, if I'm to go by the numbers, then absolutely they do. Breakthrough cases. Let's go over this again with the breakthrough cases. Got to do this. I'm going to show you guys. All right, breakthrough cases. 6,587 COVID-19 breakthrough cases as of July 26. Oh, wow. That's 163 million people vaccinated. So do I think they work? Yes. Yes, I do. 74% of the people that got breakthrough cases were 65 and older. How about keeping you alive, which is always at the end of the day, isn't this the goal of all of these things? Let's take a look at that. Chances of you ending up in the hospital. 0.004%. I'll flip it around so you guys can understand. 99.996% chance that you will not end up in the hospital. How about dying? 0.001%. Being fully vaccinated and dying. What does that translate to? 99.999% of fully vaccinated Americans have had a deadly COVID-19 breakthrough case, according to the CDC. Let people make their own choices. The problem is we live in a litigious society, so everybody wants to sue. People use things like science when it benefits them. When they do not see the benefits of that, sometimes they'll panic. This guy here is a business owner. What is he saying? He's not saying you shouldn't get vaccinated, should he? He's saying, look, some of this stuff is nuts. Some of this stuff is ridiculous. Feeling like you're forced to do something. I think it was Ryan Tannehill, the football player, who over the weekend said, look, I got vaccinated. But I felt like I was pressured to being vaccinated. It's crazy. We shouldn't want to do that. We should want people to make their own choices. But your choices could impede on my choices. Well, they're doing that now. And the CDC is doing the worst thing you can do advertising-wise for your vaccine, which is to tell everybody, hey, mask up again, 6 feet away again, be careful again, all of those things, even if you're vaccinated, although the chances of you dying or getting sick from this is so rare, it's insane. You probably have a better chance of winning some sort of lottery or a large scratcher, but don't you worry. We're going to protect you.
What is the difference when you are ignoring the science that suggests that if you get vaccinated, you protect yourself, you protect the people around you, and you help us get out of this pandemic a little bit faster?
So what's next then? Are we all going to lock ourselves in our homes whenever there's a flu outbreak or there's an outbreak of a common cold? Are we going to lock ourselves inside our homes and wear a moon suit? I mean, where does it end?
Where? Chances of surviving this, 99.96 without a vaccine. Maybe 99.7. That's still maybe double what you would see with the flu. Is there risk? There's risk in everything. If I told you today, though, that you were up for a job and you really wanted that job, and the chances of you getting that job were 99.95% that you were going to get that gig, you think you'd be like, I like those odds? Yeah, I think you would.
It ends with you getting the vaccine so that this virus doesn't keep replicating. I gave you a chance to make the case. I wish you well. I hope your family stays safe.
I made my case. You didn't have much to say.
I mean, so honestly, you sound like an idiot, so there's not much to say. But, Tony, good luck with it. See you.
You sound like an idiot. I'm a Cuomo. My brother's Touchy McFeely, the governor. You might have heard of him. He wrote a book about, hey, how to get by the pandemic and be Touchy McFeely. It's nuts. We should be able to make up our own choices. I made a choice based on science, the numbers, the data. It's not a big deal. I took the risk. I knew what it was. At the same time, other people are choosing not to do it. I respect that. And I realize that the chances of you getting this thing and dying are still pretty slim to none as far as dying. Yeah, were you probably going to catch it? All of us are going to catch this thing at some point in time, whether we're vaccinated or not, because eventually the vaccines probably won't work, or we may get one down the line that will work for several years. But this will become more of a situation that's like a flu or a cold, where we'll see a situation where there's a pop-up here and a pop-up there. But I understand with that restaurant. owner was saying. Same thing I've always said. Just give me the data. Give me the facts. Don't write around those and see, as you see, when you put something in that doesn't meet the narrative of the media, that doesn't tell the whole story. No, the number tells the whole story. There might be other things, right? I get it, but it doesn't tell the whole story. No, the number tells everything I need to know. 2 + 2 is 4. I don't need to know anything other than that. You don't need to try to paint the picture of why this one was a 1 and then this one joined together. And because of, no, just tell me what it is. And we'll go from there. I'm not talking about the nuance of the after effects of some of these things. I'm not talking about I'm talking about just the survival rate at the end of the day. Don't need anything else. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. All right, Rough Greens makes any pet food better. Your chance right now to get Rough Greens for free. Ooh, what? Free. How much is that, Chad? Let's go over this again. Free. All you do is cover shipping. They're going to give you a bag for free. It's got vitamins, minerals, nutrients. It's got digestive enzymes. It's got amazing, incredible omega-3, 6, and 9. What it's done for my dog Doodle, my older dog with his joint and hip pain, is really transformed him into a dog that's living an amazing life right now, and it is awesome. Your chance to get it and try it for free. Put them to the test. You cover shipping. All you have to do is go to ruffgreens.com/Chad. Get your Canine Vitasmart from Rough Greens. You will love it. Your dogs will love it. They love the taste. Sprinkle it on top of your dog's food and watch them go. ruffgreens.com/Chad or call 833-MY-DOG-77. Rough Greens makes any pet food better. Chad Benson Show.
Check out our Chad Benson Show Facebook page where you can hang out or hang your grievances out to dry. This is Chad Benson.
Governor Cuomo's administration fostered a toxic workplace that enabled harassment and created a hostile work environment where staffers did not feel comfortable coming forward with complaints about sexual harassment due to a climate of fear and given the power dynamics.
Yep, we'll see. I think there's going to be a lot that comes out of this. We were just talking off the air. The amount of evidence they gathered, I think, for a lot of people is like, what?
They reviewed more than 74,000 pieces of evidence, including documents, emails, texts, audio files, and pictures.
Yeah. So, America's, man, so you had America's mayor, Rudy Giuliani. He went crazy. Then you had America's governor, Andrew Cuomo. He's a hot mess. And then you got the other governor, right, which is Newsom in California, leading the biggest state, and obviously the fifth largest economy in the globe. And, they're thinking, hey, this recall thing's gotten a lot closer than we thought it was going to get. Now it's kind of a dead heat. And Larry Elder, who is the popular talk show host, I grew up listening to Larry, and he is an interesting character, but he threw his hat in. He had to sue to get on the ballot, and now he is in the lead of the people that should they not retain the services of one Gavin Newsom, that he might potentially be the next governor of California. It's just craziness. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Love hearing from all of you. Telling you guys, some of this stuff is you just sit back and you shake your head, and it's every day it's something new. Every day it's something crazy. Every day it's a new fight. Somebody's yelling at somebody over something. People are angry about this. It's you just sit there like, is this for real? Do you remember when we were like, hey, wait till the aliens get here? which is getting closer.
I am here to discuss the so-called flying saucer. Anything in the air that may have the possibility of threat or menace to the United States.
Generations of Americans have reported seeing objects in the sky that they could not explain.
TWA 517, do you want to report a UFO?
Advancements in military technology have taken these unidentified flying objects from the stuff of the silver screen to the halls of Congress.
Yeah, because Congress is looking around. We'll touch more on this during the week, but there's stuff that's real. And, you know, like UFOs, we're close to figuring out exactly somewhat of what's going on out there. What's explainable, what's not explainable, what is completely out of the realm of any possibility our species knows. Meaning that it's probably from somewhere else. And we're fighting over masks, and there's a reason that aliens don't want to come here. We are the trailer park in Florida. God bless Florida, I love it. Of the universe, the galaxy. People look and go, nah. You guys have a good one. We'll do it again tomorrow. I believe it's Tuesday. You know what that means. Get yourself some tacos. Night-night, Jack.
This is the Chad Benson Show.